Kyonju sanju rinpoche ma je pa na je jur chi je pa nyamba me pa kone gondam pera shu kyonju sanju rinpoche ma je pa na je jur chi pa nyamba me pa don kone gondam pera shu Shonju Samju Rambo Maji Pana Shejurji Shiva Nyamba Meba Kondam Pera Shoy. Good morning, Shopa Delis. Tayo Shonchen Cho the Tuki de Sembahia. Ta Gonghi Sembahia, Chujambala, Zopa Chimbo, Longchen Hinti, Hundred Tree, Gonzon Lama, Hialon Hiavasage, Deniak Dinoni, Della Tomo Shuyu Hundred Trijido, Tomo Nongo Hundred, Tomo Sage, the Toman Sage. Tamu seji de jirizo namja nomba sonji baka hiantang hundu tri jigdong teni tamu mayamba ji mixerk hundu jig nyol dan hundu ku chu te don da chi na jirizo do ji tadik jibandanda chu tomchi ku hundu ndro gob chani hundu se hundu ku chu te mena tani chirijido yo mon yuse gana nda yo uni danda te kali khabu yole da taga mon yin danda te go yole de taga hondro sendu gazichi hondro kutapte yanchi manchi gule de hondro kutapte la chirijido tombo hondro ka chulan yupu gohye zizo tani chirijido na Taman said the mixer ko hondo take wrong jut yong zik chetal. Yap sundro, yon chencho the san he, dorje samba gamdizo. The nature on the lam nanjur, so sofa mander to soki, wrong jut nyumba, lead on nyumba, the so jonsi he. Tani jiri judo ta di KUSALI'S sosi teri nga tso jiri tamma nongo hondo ka chokong ngaba te di juk to sesu ta juk te jiri judo hirtong tso sopo yan lor yan son tila kazong tandala jiri judo ngaba de ji jichir to jupa KUSALI'S so na se the Chokong Abati the year, the year teacher to Jupa, KUSALI'S source. Levu Segana, Da Sachi Segana, Chokong Navaka, Sendent and the Nava the year sage, the year sage de Hirton Nambian Noma Sonji, but the year sage Jidon, the Natiri the Hihi Church, Magic Amaladunga. Sonju ko dat usage te sendun den dramada jire mato yemba konyo mandaji yole marese dat usage te dat usage zelen sango samna namje no sonji pa ka dat usage te nyum dap se chanji to pombo ko dat se chanji tani chodok dat se chanji do Lai Pog the say change, yo. Touchere say change na Pumbo the new mumbo dub sagete, Jig Devaton, Jig Tarva, Tomchi Chamber, Gompung Toshiton. The nature judo Tataka Pumbok, Lundanyo, Ranchi Jerijudo Jig. Namjan Kakezu, Zopazo Hik, non could jut than a lachi, new mumban dosha he don't tumut tamchik, Yoli tela duk min tao tani min duk min tao go si jinsen chen sang go sana de chere judo dog nga chu phumbo te lusen nikala ne pa chimbo hi sapa kanson koro ni lan rozizo tani tarwa tamchin chenbo kompon la ne pa hi ne pa chani tela nyum dadas tani phumbo gdad sechur phumbo gdad sechite chere judo tata ko di sochi ko phumbo se sochi jena ngachu tata di shado ruke jong yeli drong ko lunda nyanda chi yana nyama re yanda chere judo ko me parendo sojo ndi chere judo ndi sochi se gana duman rama naso matson zi sancho soru sechor ji lundala teni ne nasa duha mobo yondu sulera tak cherizudo tela phumbo dadres tenin chadak da sejite cherizudo ko ti chobar yeso ndi lunde ni memory sukra ten chundo ka tela chadak das teni lag padat sejite nachina ko number inhi jila sego tanga chanina longdur ko nila jumam longxia kandi dorxia kandi li geva chi ko shola nita chachi dragana yo tela nyu khujo mundu pa jeri chi ko mombo chi yong do so teni chi mgeva to ndang na so shola kase njugana njuke demondanda gabondanda tanda chi teong ki chi ngajar hedong sejur chi ndam na so ke on ki tanduna geva la par de chupa heze ko sen namba imba chi la ho pa dat se to dut yo se chi thomong ku lu so zina da yo te ni de do teni ama la drang ko song ji chen chi da yo se chule de ti do yanda chi na tu chi do to thome de teni chere do gadu gd se chi nyam hi gd se chi do yo yo tala chere do ndi kap su kyo ko kap sala da yo cho je se je te ti da yo te kyo ko ti da yo te kare re da to chi gd se je te kare re je na chi shuruk yer to ko non du ji ko dat se je ten do na no pa hyen kan ji la se so chi mo yin na tandro chen zen la so ba kan de yan na da jo karma la so ba tandra ka tu chi jina ti tu go chok ro go chok tong go chok tu go chok tandra ka nun se hyen kan ji no pa hyen na yo chu de ma ta pa do ji tarwa tong tong chi chen ba no pa hyen sa to la tu chi ka da des tani to me ka da se chu to me ka da se ji te 제리스도 미크도 지 나빈 토마토 빠찌기 tene chi indre dong jangong se chi tanda ndama naso no pa hien do ji do chi tene mong che shu nanda chi na nong ka jire ji do nyo mong ba ka chi li gewa chi kari dana tana la chi mandu pa chi do mamu pa chi do chi go tela dak mi ta go dak lam song zo re si nong ka jire ji do tering gewa dak sa na nyo khundum nanda chi ji yamba ji de no li mgev shol je pa chi nyo mong ba do ndanda re tene zo de jire ji do tome ka dat se te tome je na tong ma ta pa rig ma ta pa ku ma ta pa tanda chi ndama na so yong ju tela tome ka dat se tene jire ji do tela gadru ka dat se jo gadru ka dat se je te chu xie pa po la ji gadru ka dat se je te sam chang la ji nyamlan da zo na go nyamlan zo jo dan den jo go den yang mu ta hi sam hyan ju ji zo na go zo ta ki o che yang mu ne mo go ta hong la ti na yong ji cham ba ji chu ba ji lu yin sang sang dan da ji ju gan da ji to de ne yong ji de de hlo ni yan na go ji cha gin cham gen do chu ba se de min da ji to ku khan da ji zo de zo da a ro ta la nga da kyo sim mun du a 양모 지레 오선들이 주되나다 추도즈 될 진리 비진 거 첸들 때치지 초마른 선 던지조다 치지 셈바 간두진다다 지 대용 지르지도 더르더래 대용 지르도 ngajan다 치 tel라 초선다 드르래 용나 대용 타르바 통신 첨부 추 남도래 그문도아 tel라 가트 지더스 tani nyamshi ka dhab sechur, ta nyamshi ka dhab dachanka chigoto, ta gadru ka dhab ka chi sen la gaba shizu, ta nyamshi ka dhab dachanka teli tse cheshu, tarung cheshu nyamba te kanda yana chigi, dhunba chi dhun chigi chur nanda dhun na yana, chu nanda dhun na ko, chi myan la chigi pento nanda, maung nanda, ka gu geti namazu na ko chi lamsang panda da towa nanda. Teli mase chik chere zudo chu la tani chi mekan tong du jinanda, nashu tu du jinanda, chi lamtak yon ten tempo chi lep yon na, teni tela tanga chenpo jirendo siksami chi nga janda chi kinsanda chi hiega na, tela nyam hiega dad se yon, tela yon rigyo le mare. Chu namda dhamma chi na tanda la tere se chen chi na, yar song ji tok rewa, man korwan cham chere zudo tofa, redok kun chong li drog le ra, tazo du nyemba se ngajil se yo nyang ma to da ye chikchar se da yote chikchar se kana kechi ki pi mem zo ro se te kyo la ten tani zo go se kyo se te de ye chikchar to kyo pa he pa kosli jina trumbok chok sa pa se jum mem si mem to nam ga jere sonam ye hi ko chok sa ne da ye me pa zo gana dani chere zudu yan rinpo sonam ko tso sa kare te yan dani rong ko lu tenya pa yimbar tongni donzan do zimba do chitril me pa sankan yo na so so tongkan yo na tong so ya koncho lundan cholle ma nga long nda yimba tong ga hiwa thoma ni nga sandu chi donzan te tek di lun di to ne lu yimba te chere zudu yan songzin ko upo kandi yimba tong le lunde yoli ran tazo de rong lula tani jinzan te teni tani sonam ko tso sana kechi chi sonam ko tso saga ka chi go de ye yon ke thagre tazo de le do nyu mu bu dpa tsoma yo methle de tag dana la de ye chi cher to chupa kasele tso sok tres. Okay, now I choose to what I said that, and firstly please to generate bodhicitta, and with the bodhicitta, and we are going to study this word of my perfect teacher, and which is guide to the preliminary for the heart essence of the vast expanse from the great perfections. This is like kind of the external, like a general preliminary practice, and then inner, like extraordinary preliminary practice. That is, yesterday we talked a lot. First is the outer preliminary practice to make we are enter into the Dharma, and then is the second one is like the purifying the content of the mind in order to receive to main teachings. And then in this preliminary practice, it is we have like 5 chapters. The 5th chapter is we call the KUSALI'S accumulation, destroying the 4 maras at a single stroke. Then is when we are talking about the KUSALI'S accumulations. KUSALI'S accumulation means KUSALI is like kind of more bigger, poor, and then it's like the Tsoksak. Tsoksak is like an accumulation. Generally speaking, about our obscuration and negative patterns and hindrance. All these are how we can to dispel or purify, and we need to accumulation merit. And without accumulation merit, it's very difficult to see the mind, original mind, the nature of the mind. And therefore, we need to do the accumulation merit. And here is like the traditional way of the beggars, as like more like practitioners, and more like kind of the living in the some solitude place. They haven't got much material things. But in order to do the accumulation merit through our body, it is more profound, more deep, more beneficial than any others like materials, instead doing the materials, these things. And like this, here is the destroying the four mara at the single strokes. And there is we talking about the four maras. And we need to destroy the four maras. General, in the perspective of the Buddha's teachings, there is talking about the four maras, and specifically here in the quoting the Kusali accumulation. And the Kusali accumulation, like traditionally, and of course, it comes from Buddha's teaching, and there is like a specific yogi, like more would says Kamalashila in one India great masters. And through this, and then there is one female masters, and it's called the Magic Ladun. She is the source of this tradition. And this tradition is talking about the four maras a little bit. The terms of the maras is a little bit different, but this is like really meaning is the same. And we should to know about these four maras, okay? Generally, in the Buddhist point of view, there's four maras, and talking about the form, the mara of the form, and mara of the disturbing emotion. And then is the mara of the yamantakas, or you can say mara of the death. And then is the last, this mara is the son of the God. Son of the God is not our general God, like a kind of the in the like kind of God realms, son of the God. These four are the generally we talking about the maras. Why you are called those are the maras? For example, first mara of the disturbing emotions, and why you call the disturbing emotions is mara? Because all the times making problems. Is disturbing emotion like ignorant, like arrogant, and like proud, and like kind of the aggressive, desire, attachment, this kind of mental conflictions or like this. These are why we call the maras, because any kind of actions through this result is all the time sufferance. And also through this, our disturbing emotion, then inside disturbing emotion, actions is making the obscure, to make the obstacles for any kind of the achievement of the happiness of the temporary, and also in the liberations. And therefore, you call the mara of the disturbing emotions. And also quoting disturbing emotions, why it is the maras? Because it's like a kind of the bring, birth, old age, sickness, death. And quoting the disturbing emotions, and quoting this ignorant, like kind of is diluted suffering of the birth, old age, sickness, death. All this, and then it's like kind of maras. If we are defeated or destroyed these maras, we are free from the conflict, disturbing emotions. We are enlightened. And like this, our worst enemy is our own disturbing emotions. Therefore, we call the Mara of the disturbed emotion, and then we call the Mara of the form, Mara of the skandar, or it's like aggregates. These aggregates or the Mara of the form means this like kind of present our like this body. This is very much contaminated. According to this body we have so much clinging, so much kind of cherish, so much like kind of holding, dearly holding. And then it's like this, then we have a lot of kind of problems. And then it's like according to these bodies and mentally inconceivable make problems. And it's like kind of the birth, old age, sickness, absolutely sick, and according the body, like a kind of lack of food, lack of the like drink and clothes, and lot according this. And then is we are taking care very much, but slowly, one day we'll 100% lose. One is like kind of the lost, how much we suffered. Oh, I'm going to die. You are not dying. You're losing like kind of your body, but you think I am this body, and then is this body is disappeared. Problems, I am problems. Like therefore, we call the demon of the form, demon of the aggregates. And then last one is like kind of the demon of the son of the God. That means it is like kind of the any kind of to achieve the happiness, then it's making problems. Which kind of problems? We are like kind of the insight, according to the disturbing emotions, do negative things, all the time is happiness. And this happiness, for example, someone's killing, many hunters, some killers, they kill the other animal or the sentient beings, they are very happy. I said, why you are happy? I did something like this. But actually, this happiness is absolutely negative, because you done some very bad things, then 100% is a result negative. And like this, it's like any kind of to do the positive things, there is all the time is laziness and problems. When we do the negative things is making problem in order to receive the happiness. And this kind of, and also if you are like kind of do a little bit positive things, it looks like satisfied. I did like a wonder. I did something. I'm should to be something. Sometimes lamas and sometimes many, it says in Tibet, some lamas families, they have, I'm like kind of the name of the Rinpoche or name of the lama, name of the like niece or something's nephew or wife or husband or something. It's okay, it's bad. But you are okay or not, maybe you need to look inside them. For example, like in the Patrul Rinpoche is talking during the Guru Yoga, how much they talking. And like a kind of coding the positions, coding is like sometimes knowledges, or maybe you a little bit recite as mantras, maybe a little bit do positive things, then it's become, oh, I done like this. This kind of, to make small things, you make arrogant, proud, and like this sort of. And this is like kind of we call the son of the demigod or God. It's just to like make more obstacles, make more like problems. And therefore, here is mighty ladders to say, it's like need to cut through like this. Then it's mighty ladders. Here is talking, maybe later is coming, these 4 maras. It's like you can too easily to write down, maybe you can to write down. It's like tangible demons, the demon of the tangible, the demon of the intangible, And then is the demon of the son of the god. This is same. And then is the last one is like kind of the demon of the you just to say it's like the proud or pride, and arrogant, or like something like this, and clinging. You can to say is last one. Okay. Here is the Machi Ladons is talking about the four maras, is like kind of demon of the tangible, demon of the intangible, the demon of the son of the god, and then it's a demon of like a kind of proud, or it's like kind of the arrogant or clinging. And therefore this one, and maybe we can to say is later we need to talk about tangible demons. Tangible demon is like what you can to see, what you like kind of hear, like this kind of externally, like a kind of the demons. For example, it's like if you really to practice Dharma, maybe external the demon of the tangibles sometimes cannot destroy it, but we need to taking care. Like tangible demon is we all the times need to take care. For example, if you go to in the solitude place, when you practice, maybe first time you should to take care. For example, like wild, like cats, like a tiger, bear, or it's like this sort of like predators. It's very dangerous for you because it's like they are tangible. And also in the human, like tangible demons, like kind of murderers and killers and thief, and this sort of, and like a tangible normally. And particularly when we be in the path of the accumulations and the path of the junction, until we reach the path of the seeing, is these tangibles can to make problems, can destroy our this body, and therefore is a tangible demons you should take care of. And really to if you are to meditate to cut the ego clingings, and then it's even the tangible demons cannot destroy it. For instance, just Malaripa, he was in the Nyanon cave. So there is one cave, he's meditating. There's 3 hunters arrive, and they look in the cave. The first time they didn't see anything. They said someone's here. No, they certainly once. Hey, there is one guy. And then they threw off the look. The Malaripas meditated, but outside the body is so much like kind of the dark color. It's almost it is like a color of the grass, difficult to see. And the skin, and he has only one cotton, is wearing and sitting there. And then they say, "Are you human or ghost?" The ghost. And he didn't reply, just meditate. And then they took the gun and they shoot it. It doesn't work. And they took out to tidy up to the throat from high rock. And he's feeling, and he's slowly fly back to in the cave. They think, oh. And then they put like big to collect firewood and put in the fire. Fire doesn't burn, and fire's flames coming, and he's coming and fly and go back to cave. And then they put also the water. And then finally one guy says, "Hey, we cannot do like this. 100% this is something special." It's like that. And then they ask to him, "Which kind of you are persons?" Then he's singing. It is like I already reach in the path of the saints, in the tangible demons cannot destroy it. And then he's singing, you cannot do like any kind of practitioners cannot, you doing is negative things. And then these 3 guys are become his disciples. Like this, even the tangible like this, like a kind of the wolf, bear, and tigers. They never ever attack to the some practitioners. And this kind of practitioners destroyed the tangible, and they reached in the path of the seeing. And path of the seeing is really to see the like a part of the nature realities. That is the tangibles cannot cannot do nothing. They cut it. But generally, we need to take care of tangible demons. Then is intangible demons. Intangible demon is like normally, generally we spoken like kind of the demons, like a ghost. For example, if you are like some place, many human beings killed or murdered, and or maybe died, and also many animals slaughtered, and also it's like very strange some place you go to there. Sometimes it's like a kind of the demons you can't see, you can't hear, but this kind of the spirit. And also sometimes it's a little bit kind of the make problem we are like this. And this sort of like intangible demons also need, if you really to maintain the some is like fearless, not peerless, fearless, fearless of the yogis and the tangible. For instance, you remember, you look at the Buddha's history. He's meditating on the trees, and finally, it's like the demigod, many like kind of the intangible demons, they attack to him, and like kind of the mixed stone and like big like water and tornado and it's a typhoons, many things kind of appeared, but he doesn't move. He like kind of defeated to this kind of demons. When we are like kind of practice really serious to Dharma, sometimes intangible demons often can come. But if you really to have the mentally to have perfect view, you can do like a kind of destroying or defeated to them. And this is like a tangible demon, intangible demon. In Tibet, I told you, Tochik Dak, Tomek Dak. And then is the third one, it is the son, same as the son of the, like a God. That is the similarity before I said. Sometimes when you are like kind of the practice, Dharma, the kind of to a little bit rejoicing. It's like a kind of you practice a little bit Dharma, and maybe you make 3 years retreat, or maybe something you done some hundred, or maybe something. Then inside like kind of contentment, and this contentment is making arrogant, proud, and like this. And then this arrogant proudness is make obstacle. It's not very good. And sometimes it's like even you say it's like become maybe peerless. Oh, I can do practice. My visualization is okay, and like this. Maybe I'm quite a little bit. And also sometimes, as I said, the son of the God means it's happiness. Like inner you practice quite, it's good things a little bit. Maybe you are like kind of every day something practice. You yourself, I am good practitioner. Externally, maybe someone say, this person's really good practitioner of Dharma, really is a meditator, and people give present, respect, like that. Then, now it's quite, I am going very well. That means it's obstacle. Then it's like easily to give up, and this is big kind of making obstacles. And then the last one is like a kind of the arrogance, the demon of the arrogant or clinging. That means it's like a kind of you practice Dharma, And then exactly, maybe you have some clairvoyance, maybe you have a kind of the to see through the wall, maybe you understood others people's what they thinking, and this sort of, and then exactly like the respects something coming, then you have a touch like to clinging. Ah, yes, now my practitioner, my path is quite nice. Oh, I'm lucky. You have more clinging to the go to Pure Land. It's a little bit. You have this kind of hope. You say, oh, I'm not going to in the low realms, hell or hunger, ghosts, animals. I never. Surely I'm going to. This kind of like arrogant, or this is the big obstacles, and therefore these four maras we need to cut it. And therefore, then is this destroying the four demons. You can choose maras by the single stalks. Single stalk means sometimes the single stalk of the perfect view, and sometimes single stalk means it's like one. And when you practice the jut, it is like kind of say the pit. Pit is like there's two letters. And like kind of the one is be in Tibet we call the like a pa, and then it's like next to the letters the tra. As a pa is like a pa was the first letter is a representative of like a more empty nature, and then is the next one is like a ta is like a more representative the luminosity wisdoms. And like combiners, it is like the unification view of the emptiness, is the luminosity of the compassions. And this is like kind of this making the one sound and to destroy the order, the four maras. And therefore it's a single strokes, single one like a single practice, and you can to destroy the four maras. And therefore, now you understood the four maras. That's very important to think. Why we call the demon of the maras? Because it's making problem for us. To do the positive things is supporting, and to do negative things to supporting. When we do the negative things or the positive things, all the times making the obstacles, laziness, postpone, and like a doubt, and like this sort of all the times. And therefore it's like these four maras. And four maras, and if we are cut the four maras, and then we are completely enlightenment. Okay, and then like next ones. Would you like to stop 5 minutes? It's almost at 12. Yeah, what do you think? Today is we can continue, and maybe 12 o'clock. What do you think to stop? Why? Because it's like also we are a little bit support. Real to we can tomorrow, absolutely. But today's Tibetan communities here, and also we can a little bit to kind of voluntary retreat. Then maybe next week. Okay, la. Maybe I will go to a little bit continue. Now is the chapter, main chapters. Unik cherizudo tati chokungundachina. Delandar kasili choso ji luyonyong hinjongwanda. Here sanya ngasuni lam nanjur tonrewan jombi lam nanjur chala. Hichong chumo je. Tsukpa mandar ji yalak the hijo mangar pina. Then it is the Tsukta. Kamdar Tsukpa tom de somba casula yopaya. No you cheto. That Telanda Kusali Tsusu says Telanda Cherizo Kusali says the candidates in Luyon Yonga Chinjongwa. Trumbok. Jimmy Simi Tandakanga Cherizo. Shuru Unput the dots on my Nyon Yonke. mem ka ta chi bip nanjur pa se gana pa ndra nyanglan pa se gana ndra rutru pa teso la chi de shu uipu chi sonzing ka yimba do sonam sok gana me yong teni chi de rong ko lu yimba la tani lu yen nyong ndra chin jong yo le reso kasile se chi te trombo chi de tereso teni de sanye ngaso se chi te di ngaso korsam se jarwa longchen pa di songchu ko non la ngaso korsam se jo di non sanya ngaso ko kapsala teni di ju ndanda chi na lama nan jo ton derwa song yo le re song teni song teni kire judo di kapsala di ju japan ndanda chi na misar ka chi longchen himti ka luso teni zo yong ka chi ga na 돈보 히히세 chanchi ka yong po konchang jongsa yong cherido nima ka jo sahya gelu seba non yanti ka hihi kyo ka jepa se chancho kyo ka jepa se chite jagar ni sula tardu tene jagar ni patamba sonji yong se jere kamala hila yong se jere tene machi ladun se gundu kong namba ka tanda ka luyan nyong tanda luyan bala tani kyut se chanchik tanda ka chik nyamla misarwa nyamla tang sapo chi su yong le te kire judo matsa kyut ndande rachina sonji ka song tong derwa zuga na ka pama ka jindong se jir sonji ka song tu tana la ka tongbo ka nipa ka samba se jir ka pama shirap ji paro ta shimba te tong derwa yo pa tanda jila shirap tomba nyak jayanji shirap paro to himbak dongo himbo dodo dedong jerwa yozik tani kyo japate tanda chena tani su tarong zo taran tani pu kongchang ge jong su tarong tani yin le tachire se chanchin na kyo japate tani zu tani jisu pur na su de machi ladron to kong namba patamba sonji kong nambi su pur la su jadni tani zu hyoshi japa yole te yan na yong tani kanchen longchen ranjam ki te misark kyuk japa te kong la te ta chepar chanchule tani kongru yong jere judo hyewa humma la yong kyuk nyang la chen ke tanda chika yong tani zu chi hyeje tani song jure longchen pat ta misark longchen ranjam la kyuk japa te yole tani kanchen longchen ranjam ko loma se gna ta kong matsa dondeni lo mombo shansabi jis la ta su longchen hinti ka tenpa dofu rinzan jime lingba pe yongdu rinzan jime lingba ka yehi yumi kui jis zong sini kongru ka te kanchen longchen ka lama nanjo la tani tala sobra putsu sndeb yongdu longchen ranjang ka hyal tenma san la zikni zohwa chenbu chi jib menga to jipa tamchi pamba kongshul ka tsartal ta pamba kongsho zina pe na pamba jik nong chukari yopa te jik nong su lu yopa nong yondana tandri zu yopa jik longchen ranjam zhongni lo mombo yina kongi lama nanjol tene jik zhomde konchen longchen ka hyar zikni tene jime lingbala kongru ka poto ka nongda chenyon tene jik zokwa chenbo kati di ta gyo se mandu zokchen ka chuko tsoma te jime limba la song modo mono yanda ju song do tene jime limba kongru ku nyam na che de chung kyo ku japa pe na jeri ju don kan ru ke jong se ye su song du ju kong ko te ju tene jeri ju do ti lo ma se gana kongru ku yong se ku yong tr ra ngam dan da te ndo chen si hi we shi dor je se chen chu do kam kho space kong jeri ju don jime limba tr ku re tani kong la jeri juto chi gyuk mixer ko gungtir tensong la jeri juto zimba rungchur se chanchik gyuk japa yangmo chole re ti kong rundo chanchi chi hiwi ya dorje la ti gungtir tenya tani jeri juto di dzogchen da chenka chego do ti ulup numa don chanchi ulup xiamu menla se chanchi ne ngoni chutup chipar chanchi ole re tala jet tis tala si sang ti si sang ko noni si ndinga tela di jigdar hyong che do je dzogchen country nga ngulo Kambo Yanteng Gumbo say jolly. Tanguni Sonji Unda jolly. Telaja. Tennis the Kambo Yanteng Gundi needs our lamato. Chikta Dzogchen Lama Somatani. Teni Nanda Chenka Chikudo, the Mr. Kuchu Nzamba Rondo Kutenda Chena, Ndon Chensi Hivi Hibdorji Konkam Kandro, Konruk Jamusegana, Te Kandro Disselmoseyo, Ti Yonsuk, Ndorumbo Chenk, Samosegana, Ani Dassel Sejul, Kona Jok Jeparti Harse, Ndon Chensi, Mi Konk Kondani Ono Tosso Soma, the Husian. Tenizo the Cheparta Longchen Hintikton. Kunderati Tandeo. Tozo do Jeredo, he get you could jepa Tandizumi tarons over race. Dog Jeredo Sanyang Aso, Jara Longchen Park Capsula, Jun the Nachinaki, Lama Nanjurton de Rasone. Tandeo race, the Lama Nanjosegana Lama Yuna, the Panangol gum. Then it is the look and Trojan here, Jendanda. Tanizo the Chim Lam Nanjurton de Son, the Yanayon, Lam Nanjurji Charlotte, Zugana Chule, the Machupachule Marite, Yanan di Capsula, and the Consolam Chalon Capsula, Tos of a Mandragi Yellow Hini, Teni and the Visual, Tos of Mandraki Yellow Zodu, that indeed Hunla, Mandrak, Candizo Jerizo Sonok, Tos Hilla, Mandar Nani Yonzri, Tanizo de Tezo de Ta, Luyon. Jigge is the Trombu Chahi Chank, Tandana, Tanicher is the Cantana, the Mandraton Dreni Somba, Casur Tandumba, Yan, Dayuntanizo, Che, Rosili, Sony Saktater. What I read it in the main chapter now comes to brief offering of one's own body, called the KUSALI'S accumulation. And maybe I can to go one by one. Okay, and then is since this practice is linked to the Guru Yoga in finding rest in the nature of mind, it is permissible to combine it with the Guru Yoga. Alternatively, and without any contradiction, it can also be practiced as part of the accumulation of merit alone with the mandala offerings. And that is how it will be explained here in accordance with an oral tradition that teaches it in that ways, teaches it in that way. And here is like now as comes a brief offering of the one's own body called the KUSALI'S accumulation. That one is like already we said. Here is like called the KUSALI'S accumulation. KUSALI'S accumulation is like kind of someone is like maybe beggar, not much in the external materials. We cannot to do some accumulation merit through the materials levels. And also maybe some Dharma practitioners and some is like maybe in the solitude, hermitage place, there's not much material things. It is difficult to do some accumulation through the material things. And then it's like kind of they doing through their own bodies. Generally speaking, when we need to do the accumulation merit, and through the body, through the virtue, through the materials. And of course, through the virtue and through the body, it is very easy to do the accumulation merit. And instead doing by the materials and doing through the virtue and body is more profound, more deep, more fast, more benefit. And therefore now it is like it's a more explanation, brief, like talking about the offering of our own body. and therefore we call the KUSALI'S accumulations. And since this practice is linked to the Guru Yoga, in the finding rest in the nature of the mind, the rest in the nature of mind, it is the teaching of the omniscient of the Longchenpa. It's Dzogchen Ranyak Patrul. It's like the principal lineage holder of the great perfections, and Dzogchen Ranyak. That is, I think, you know very well. And also in Tibet, there is the 8 Buddhist traditions. Like we are very well known. It's like kind of the Nyingma tradition, Gajut tradition, and Sasha tradition, and Gelug's tradition. But there are like kind of the Jut traditions. And this Jut and like the KUSALI'S accumulations tradition and Longchen Hintik's tradition, how it is. And also this KUSALI'S tradition comes from India? Yes. Generally in India, there are some lineage holder, and particularly the lineage holder of the, Kamala Shila and the Patamba Sonji, or it's like magic legends. And reality, it is comes the part of the second Buddha's teaching, Pajina Paramitas. And you remember it, Buddha's is like the talk, like a 3 wheel of Dharma, first and second and third. And then this one is like more the teaching of the KUSALI'S accumulation is connected to the second teaching of the Pajina Paramitas. And therefore, from the Indias, and then it's like Kamala Shilas and Machi Ladus brought to in Tibet. And then is the Dzogchen Ranyak he received from like this great from master. And also Dzogchen Ranyak was in the periods, some in his life also as was like the lineage holder of these KUSALI'S accumulations. And like this, and then afterwards, the principal lineage holder of the heart essence, Longchen Yintik, is the Jigme Limbas. And the omniscient of the Jigme Limba, he is like kind of the true his own primordial wisdoms connected to the Longchenpas. He practiced 3 years about the Longchenpas. He realized that all like kind of the Longchenpas like manifested for him, and like a kind of talking to like humans to human or face to face. And Longchenpas is transmitted all the lineage of all the great perfections, and particularly all the heart essence. And also it's like same time as this lineage of the KUSALI'S accumulations, and like this. Then after also the Jigme Limba he practiced, and he also wrote it. It is like the laughiness, dakinis love, the Kandu Kejong, and like this. And then afterwards in Tibet, more in Eastern, and the Jigme Limba's reincarnation of there is called the Ndonchen Hivi Dorje, like Zenkar Rinpoche's Pirius first one. And he was the reincarnation of the Jigme Limba. He has special like mind treasures. We call them Zimbaruntur, and we have here the books. And he has many mind treasures. And then is like he has many disciples, and particularly his lineage families. And there is Ndorumbochens. And Ndorumbochen is like Ndonchen Hibi Dorje's sons and his lineages. And Ndorumbochen is like doctor. There is one we call the Anidasal. She is a reincarnation of the Ndonchen Hibi Dorje's like Ndakinis. and Daki Losaumo. And the Anidasal, I receive all the accumulations, this Nzambaruntrus Jut's lineage, I receive from this Anidasal, Kandrudasal Omo. And also in the Dzogchen tradition, Donchensi Hivish Dorje student, there is called the Shaman Menla. One is like a great Mahasiddhi practitioner of the Jut, and he has 3 sons. And middle son is very, very famous in Kembo Yanteng Gombo, and the lineage holder of the great perfections. He's the teacher for the 6 Dzogchen Rinpoches. Like he's a teacher of the Jigme, all the Dzogchen, many his master's teacher was. And therefore in the Dzogchen, this tradition is like very strong connected. And therefore in the Sanyang Association, and therefore in the rest in the nature of the mind, Longchen Pas takes it, and it is linked to the Guru Yoga. But here it is the permissible. Permissible means it's like permitted. This is connect, combine it with the Guru Yoga. It's just like you can to connect to the Guru Yoga, because according to Longchen Pa's book, it's called the rest in the nature mind. And it's just possible, it's like to connect to Guru Yoga. But alternatively, here is like more, like definitively here is without any contradictions. You connect to the mandala offering and Guru Yogas. You don't need necessarily contradict. It can also be like practiced as the part of the accumulation of merit, along with mandala offerings. It's like the part of the mandalas, because it's like mandala offerings, and you mandala offering during the like outer mandala offering, inner mandala offering, secret mandala offerings, exactly same is the part of this. And now it's like your body to making the mandalas and offering and to making the accumulation merit. And therefore, that is the how it will be explained that here in accordance with our oral tradition that teaches in that way, means it is we combine with mandala offerings. And therefore, in this tradition, particularly Patrul Rinpoche and Hard Essence tradition, this you can according with the mandala's teachings, and that is absolutely no problem. And this times we are studying this accumulation through the bodies, and the Jyot KUSALI'S accumulation is the part of the mandalas. Okay, then maybe today we need to stop there is. And what time? Oh no, we have 12, it's 11. Okay, no problem. We can to rest. I'm a little bit old guy, and it's really is confused. Maybe 12 o'clock we can to stop, okay? Now we can to post 15 minutes, tea and coffee. I thought already 12 o'clock. 추석 중에 세상에 산대. 나 주스 그야 라마우스. 라이온스.